Hello, I was just piecing together the video I did yesterday, but half my video was all upside down. I couldn't figure out how to make it go right, so I just got rid of that one, and then we'll do one today, which is Saturday. I think the poignant parts of yesterday were that I figured out that I can have these raisin roots as a healthy extra B. Hello, and some drink. Do you want a cup with that? Yeah, so I can have 45 grams of Sainsbury's whole grain raisin wheats for healthy extra B, and that provides around 25 little squares, which is quite good really, mixed with kind of a bit of fruit, banana and what else I'd have with it, something, blueberries perhaps. Yesterday I struggled, and I think I struggled yesterday because I didn't have a plan. I realised that I need to have a holiday plan that I implement, because I think I get lulled into a false sense of security in the fact that that holidays are only mildly different to the term times, but in reality they are quite different. So I need a plan of action to help me. I was supposed to be able to do the Monday, the Wednesday. I was supposed to be able to do exercise basically on all of the days, which is what I'd been doing previous weeks. But because of circumstances, I didn't manage to do it all. My partner didn't get back from his run on Monday until quite late. So what I did is I went for a run instead of doing my body combat, and I only went for about 15 minutes run. It was nice to go outside, but I wanted to get back in order to have some lunch, and it wasn't quite the same as the body combat thing where you're going out and you're doing the exercise for an hour and then you're having a wash and getting yourself, you feel like you've actually done something. And then on the Wednesday, obviously I didn't get to go to weigh-in, and I didn't get to do my body balance. And on the Thursday evening I realised, my partner nipped out once we got back from work and picked up the kids, that Thursday evening I was supposed to go to a gym.
Mum, where's some hummus?
Hummus is all finished now. It's all gone now, unless you want the hummus I made. You can have it if you want to. I've got to make some more anyway. Okay, yes, and then on, but normally on a Thursday I would do a run on the treadmill for 20 minutes. I would go outside of the house environment, and then on the Friday morning I would do the body pump, but I didn't do that yesterday. I think, and the food wise, it's not been too bad. I've been pretty good on plan thereabouts during the week, and in terms of cooking the right things when I'm supposed to cook them, but there's and because I'm at home a bit more during the holidays, not that much more, but only a little bit more, I needed a little variety of foods that I can eat as a snack at home, and I needed better plans with the kids. I mean, we did do very well. It was by no means a disaster, but I think I can do it better. And there's a bit of me thinking that I just feel very groggy now. I feel so uninspired, and I feel not uninspired to do Slimming World because it's quite a habit now. So I'm going to do that. It's not really a bother, but I just feel uninspired about life really. I feel just that there's nothing there to look forward to, and I think that's just a result of no exercise, or very little exercise, and a result of not getting to go to weigh-in, and a result of feeling a little bit, I think, because when you look after kids, even though they're older now, you feel just a little bit out of control, and unless you plan out your day very tightly and you have activities to do with them all the time, it gets you eventually, and you just start to feel feel groggy and you don't feel very alert, and you feel like you're just going through the motions of life, and it's all very reactionary rather than being proactive. I mean, we did very well yesterday. We went to the library and got some books and such, and you know, it's not the end of the world, but I think I can do better. So today I'm going to have some raisin wheats, then I'm going to have a bath. I've got to get quite a lot done this morning. I've still got to make chips and hummus. I've got my plan. Saturday's okay because I have a plan in place up here on my board. I've got my Saturday morning little tiny list. You can see that there. Get the kids dressed. They're already dressed. I've got to get washed and dressed myself, which I've not done that yet. Need to have a bath and put my proper clothes on. Eat breakfast. I'm about to do that. Washing up and clean the kitchen. Make the spaghetti bolognese. Make the chips. Make the hummus. And make the kids lunch. So do those things this morning. And I know then I've just got like a little tick list. And then I know what I'm supposed to do. I think that just helps me out so much more. But I just got it's cumulative, and I was speaking to my partner this morning, and he said, you know, maybe engage the kids a bit more with the tidying up, you know. And I just, you know what, when you feel like you can't really be bothered, the last thing you can do is make somebody else be bothered. You got nothing left to offer. You got no way. It has to be done at a different way. So I can't. When I feel like this, the only thing I can do is look after myself. The only thing I can do to bring myself out is make sure I exercise, make sure I eat well, and then about 2 days later I'm come out of it. But I can't. There's no way of getting myself out right now. It just doesn't happen. I can make myself feel a bit more alert. We can go out for a bit or something like that, and then I just feel just grogged out again. It's not magically released. So I have to prevent it rather than cure it, and so that's the way. I mean, that's why living a vegan, no sugar diet helps really, really, really a lot. Doing this and the exercise, I think I've missed that tremendously, because I hate this feeling of just, I feel so groggy and cloudy and uninspired, and it's not my usual state nowadays. I normally feel kind of energised and ready for life. So I felt a bit annoyed that my partner even suggested it'd be a good idea, but you know, full activity, why not get the kids in? I know, I mean, it's like I do it all the time, get the kids involved in doing the activities, and yeah, let's tidy up, and you know, it's what we do on a Sunday, it's what we do, that's what happens. But when you do not feel like doing it yourself, it's not like you can magically, because you just get angry, you get frustrated, you get annoyed, and you get full of obligations, and I do not cope well with feeling of obligations and feeling obligated. I know the washing up needs to be done, and I know the tidying needs to be done, and I know the hoovering, and we all know these things need to be done. It's not like we don't realise. But when when you're with kids, you have to be calm, and you have to be centred, and you can't. You have to feel like you can cope, and you have to feel like you can cope with those moments where it all just suddenly goes wrong. It's totally fine, then it all goes totally wrong, and you live your life around kids on kind of on call, don't you? You can't fully relax, and so therefore I have to take it slow and steady. And if I'm using my calm energy to push myself, then when the kids have a trouble, then I get angry. So I have to just really, really keep it calm, keep it steady, keep it routine based, so I'm not having to use my own willpower, I'm not having to use my own internal push. I'm using the routine to carry me through rather than my own obligation, because I don't want to go down the route of being angry at them, because that doesn't help any of it, does it? So I've kind of just got to go over the fact that basically I feel like my partner said I wasn't a good parent because I wasn't engaging my children enough. Because, I mean, he didn't mean that at all. He's just trying to be helpful, trying to find activities for them to do. But, I have to be careful. I don't just take it like he wants, he says that the house isn't tidy enough or something like that. Because he doesn't, that's not what he said. I mean, he said himself that he struggles, obviously, when he gets back from work. The first thing he doesn't do washing up first thing when he comes back. So it's not like, and I think sometimes it's easier when we're both at work because we're both doing the same job. And I think sometimes when it's holiday time, it switches over to me being a bit more of the primary carer. And there's a tendency to think that the primary carer, when they're at home, should do the majority of the tidying up and the cleaning. And it's not really that case, is it really? I mean, yeah, I'm nearby the stuff, but it still has to be done as a team. It's not necessarily something that, and I think that's why it works better when we share, because, for instance, like on the Saturday when we swap out, when my partner comes home with the kids, we do that every other Saturday now. He doesn't then tidy up the house when he gets back to be with the kids. He just sits with them. I'm not saying that he should tidy up the house, because I would be exactly the same. And I put the effort in on the Saturday morning so that he can just sit with them, because he doesn't get a lot of time just to sit with them and be with them. So it's not as if, and he knows full well that he's not tidying the house, so it's not as if he would be funny with me. But my main problem is the sense of obligation and the feeling like I'm not doing well enough and I'm not doing right enough. So I have to watch that, because that will result in me feeling bad about myself, and that's not going to help me, that's not going to help my mental state and my sense of feeling accomplished and capable. So I have to just sort of let that go, if you know what I mean, and focus on what I can do. And what I can do is create myself routines and structures so that I can function in an environment when I don't feel so good. Because routines carry me through when I don't feel right, when I don't feel capable or functional. Routines just carry me through. I look at what's next on my list to do and I do that. And then when I start to feel better, at least I've managed to achieve some things while I've not been so good. But yeah, that's holidays for you, isn't it? That side of your routine. Okay. I'm going to get myself some raisin meats and I will show you what I'm eating. I'll see you in a bit. Okay, so there's the amount of raisin meats that you get. So it's 44 grams. So, this is quite a sizable amount. I worked it out the other day, there's about 25 or so in there. There's not a huge, it doesn't look that much, but in real life it is quite big. So it's a palm of my hand or something. So I'm going to top this up with almond milk and bananas, and I don't know what else to have with it. I should really have some speed food, but I will have a little look to see if there's anything decent speed food wise that I can have with it. Okay, so I've just gone for raisin wheat, banana and almond milk. I was toying whether to chop up Braeburn apple into it, but I just don't think there's going to be, I don't know whether I'm going to enjoy that, so I'm going to have it just afterwards. I don't even know whether I'm going to have it afterwards or not, but I'm going to eat it and see how I go, and then I'll have to work on find a speed food that I want to have in there normally. It might be blueberries in the future, but I think, yeah, just going to have to work at seeing what speed food I'd like in this cereals. But I think that's a pretty good bowl, really. Bowl full of food, and I think that would be very tasty, and I think it'll be quite filling. So I'll have to experiment and see how that pans out. I think I realised that my main thing that I push against is the fact that when I'm just in my routine, the washing up and such is not a representation of me being a good person, because I have so many other things in my life that have reward. When I'm at home in the holidays and I'm lessening the amount of reward, my brain tries to make washing up and cleaning up to be a reward. Now, whenever I do any of that, nobody tells me what a good person I am, or nobody. I mean, it's not like anybody ever notices. If I tidy up, it's not like anybody comes in and gives me a little certificate. All that happens is that we get clean things to eat, and that in itself is why the job needs to be done, not because I'm a good person and I've done all the jobs that need to be done. And I think the sense of obligation is misplaced, because there's nothing there to be there. All that needs to be done is because it's there so we can live our lives, and that's why I have to just let it go, let go of the fact that it's not an activity. Tidying up is not an activity. It's not something to be gained joy from. For me personally, I know some people get lots of joy from tidying up, but I just do not get it. And I've tried my hardest over the time when the kids were little to try and make it a joyful thing, but it is not, and I just don't enjoy it. I know it needs to be done and I can do it, but it's not something that I enjoy. And there's nothing wrong with that, nothing wrong with the fact that I don't enjoy it. It just means it has to be put in a different thing, which is why the routine works. The routine works because it's a job that needs to be done, and off it goes. But yet when I'm faced with days where I've got no other input in, no other reward systems in place, unlike when I'm at work, I get lots of rewards because you do things right and someone's happy, and you help a customer and they're happy. You get lots of rewards that way, whereas at home there's such little reward that your brain starts to find other ways to try and get reward, and tidying up is not one of the ways I can get it from. So I have to let go of it and start to build in other reward ways in the holiday environment. Okay then, I'm going to eat some breakfast. See you in a bit. Bye. Okay, so I've got just about half an hour before I've got to leave. I'm just having a quick bit of lunch. It's noodles and sweet corn with leftover chilli. Yeah, I don't know if I'll need any cheese or anything like this in it, but I think the flavour from the chilli should enable the noodles to kind of have a flavour. So I'm going to eat dinner it. Hello, so I just had my evening meal. When I got back I had the leftover noodles and sweet corn with some gherkins, and I've just had spaghetti bolognese, which was leftover chilli plus a bit of extra veg and spaghetti, and then with that I had kind of like a pinch of this, I just sprinkle this on this vegan Engavita that Jane and Joe sent me. It's 5 grams for 1 cent, so 5 grams is a lot with this, so I just sprinkle some on and then call it half a cent, so there's hardly anything there. You get loads for 5 grams. So I don't think I've had any sins today, and I had my healthy extra B. That cereals thing worked pretty well actually. I had my raisin wheat, some banana and an apple for afterwards, and that worked pretty well, so I think I'll definitely use that again in future. Yeah, so yeah, I think I'm probably just going to have some decaffeinated coffee with almond milk to take up with me, and probably have some 8 almonds, I think, to go up with me, just that be half healthy extra, I think. Just got the you don't like that one. Just got the delivery arrived. So guys had their shower, and now Benjamin's going to go up. No, there's just some children around. So now we're just going to go up again now to do Benjamin's shower, and then we just need to do our stories, and then we're there. I'm just making a hot drink, and we've got some cherries. We've got some cherries and some grapes we're taking up with us, and I'm just going to have a decaffeinated coffee with almond milk to take up with me as well. So that's my 2 healthy extra Bs done for today. And I don't think I've had any. No, I had basically had half a sin with my stuff that I've topped on the top of the spaghetti bolognese. Ready? Just going to do the next bit. Yeah, so I'm just going to have a caffeinated coffee with almond milk, and I'm going to have one of these, which is a Scottish seeded oat cakes from Lidl's. These are 3 sins each, so that'll be 3.5 sins so far today, and 2 healthy extra Bs. So I've got leftover spaghetti bolognese that I had just for dinner, and I've got obviously got no spaghetti, it's just the bolognese part, and I've got some gherkins, and then I've also got some leftover hummus, which is all free and speed food.